Hi, we're back for listening to understand. This is a second chapter in showing up for others, and it's our sixth chapter overall. So when we talk about listening, understand, traditionally most of us are poor listeners. We listen long enough to maybe form a reply, but not to really understand what somebody is trying to tell us. We should be 100% present, with our undivided attention to hear well. Think about that. If one of the people that's closest to you in your life gave you 15 minutes of their undivided attention, how would you feel? It's a gift. A gift we need to give to people that are on our team, the people that we work with, the people that we love. It's a gift that shows that we care about what they're saying, that we respect them and their opinion. Listening is also an important part of collaboration, important component when it comes to collaboration, right? So collaboration is really about understanding what somebody else is saying, putting in your own thoughts and ideas in a way that people can challenge them and look at them so that you come up with a workable solution. If we don't listen, we're losing half the advantage of collaborating. Let me tell you a story about two sisters and one orange. Two sisters were fighting. There was one orange left on the table and both of them wanted it. And they got to a point where they just wore each other down and they decided to compromise, so they cut the orange in half. The one sister, as she's tasting the sweet segments of the orange, turns around to look at her other sister who's grating the peel for the muffins that she's baking. If they were listening to each other, both could have got 100% of that orange that they wanted. And that happens a lot with us in meetings, right? So if we think about listening, what affects our ability to listen? Distractions, a big piece, right? Our ability to focus. Sometimes we're bored, to be honest with you. Sometimes our emotions, somebody says something and it triggers something inside of us and triggers our emotions. Most of the time it's thinking about what we're going to say. And that's really sad because that means we don't care what they're going to say. Going back to our respect piece, right? So, I put a piece on effective listening skills. There's a handout on the site, Kajabi site, next to this lesson. I want you to use it as an evaluation tool. Okay? What are the pieces of that you do well? What are the pieces you could work on? Get other people's feedback on this, though. That's important because you want to know how you're perceived. Those are the people we're building our relationships with. We don't want to know how they feel. I remember sitting down, we were at a celebration at work, and I had my wife next to me. And the people at the table were saying to my wife, "Oh, we love Rain because he listens. He's always there and he's always listening to us." And my wife's looking at me, and I knew I was not as good a listener at home. I've been working on that, but I knew I wasn't as good at home as I was at work. I thought it was part of my job. So listening is an important tool for all of our relationships. If we are 100% present, we can identify when there is an incongruence between what somebody's saying and what they physically are showing to us, their nonverbal skills, right? Somebody says, "I'm fine." We can read that, we can sense that because we're there, we're present, we're understanding that, right? The more you practice these skills, the better you're going to get at it. Believe me, I was not a good listener, but now I've gotten better. We also understand what our followers need in order for us to serve them better. This shows respect and it builds engagement. Fill out your game plan for listening to understand once you get your feedback from those other people so you know what you want to work on.